3-Minute Warning.
The show where we take 5 of the hottest topics in sports and break them down into 3 minutes or less. My name is Michael Medina. With me, as always, is the great David Griffin.
The great, I appreciate that. We're also joined by the great and lovely AJ Lawrence over in the Stream.TV sports desk. Say hello, AJ.
Hi, guys.
We also have today, we've got Stephen Fox with us up in the booth, producing, making it happen. Say hello, Stephen.
What's up, guys? And
so, got to get into big news today. Big news today.
Yep.
Aaron Hernandez trial. It's come to well, this one at least has come to a conclusion for now.
Yeah. We know where it's heading now.
Yeah, we know where it's heading. AJ, can you tell us a little bit about the verdict that was reached this morning?
Well, after deliberating for 35 hours and a full week, a Massachusetts jury have found that 25-year-old former Patriots tight end Aaron Hernandez is guilty. First-degree murder, as well as 2 other weapons charges. And unfortunately, that first-degree murder charge now carries a life sentence without the possibility of parole. And there's a good chance that Aaron Hernandez will go ahead and appeal that verdict. But can you guys tell me, did you actually expect this kind of ruling?
Well, I was surprised a little bit. I mean, not surprised. I mean, this guy, Aaron's kind of hanging around a certain crowd that is probably not the best crowd to hang out with, but we see that a lot with, all these NBA and NFL players. But I don't know, with the evidence, it didn't seem like he seemed kind of confident. It seemed like his defense team seemed confident. A lot of circumstantial evidence, as we've seen.
Yeah, we talk about this all the time, too. It's kind of sad when you see these guys. I mean, 2012, I think it was, he signed like a $40 million extension. Right. He's 25 years old, so things are looking great for the guy. And now this is, what I mean, this is his life.
And it's sad. You can watch the video of the verdict being read, and you see his fiance crying and his
Bad
mom,
for his family.
And it's just he was looking back at his family saying, "What, be strong, and you see the kind of the weight of everything on him. I mean, it's just if he did it, then you gotta pay for your crimes. You can't just go around killing people. But if he didn't, it's sad because he's 25 and you figure if he lives a healthy life, he could spend up to 60 years in prison.
And I mean, I feel bad about the situation. I mean, if he's guilty, he's guilty. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I hope that this sends some sort of message to the rest of the NFL. I mean, guys are still going to do it. Guys have been doing this for years. This is nothing new. But you would hope that it would send some kind of message. Because, again, it's like, you take these guys that are given such an amazing opportunity to play pro ball. Not everyone can do this. Right. You know what I mean? So you put someone in that situation, and they can't leave that life behind them. And it's so sad when you see that.
AJ, this is not the end of it. He's got a trial in Florida he has to face. This is being appealed. I mean, how long could this all drag out, do you think?
This will probably go out for a very, very long time. He's, without a question, he's going to go ahead and appeal this verdict. He essentially has nothing to lose. But all the cases are going to continue to pile up. In this case, we saw there was 130 witnesses by the prosecution. The defense, it was very, very short, small, succinct. It was one day of evidence on their behalf. But still, it's been a long trial. There are a lot of issues going on. That appeal is going to go for a very long time. And we have to realize, too, Odin Lloyd's family is going to want essentially a payday. They're probably going to sue Hernandez in a civil suit to try to cash in and get some money. And then we have the Florida cases also coming up.
Yeah, Florida case is kind of crazy. Supposedly there was a drive-by shooting over a spilt drink or something like that at a club. I mean, just it just looks bad. Yeah. It looks bad. It's already our voices are kind of a little dire, a little sad. It's not really a pleasant topic talking about murder in the first degree and seeing people crying in the morning. Yeah. It's sad, but let's try to switch it up a little more positive. Yeah. We're gonna stick with the NFL. We're gonna talk about some AFC West sleepers and the Raiders making moves, man. I thought the Bills were making some moves.
Raiders trying to do something. I don't know if they're the right moves.
No, they got rid of McFadden.
They are still the Oakland Raiders.
They got Crabtree.
We'll see.
So we were talking about a couple, actually, when we had AJ on last time, we were talking about maybe Crabtree should retire. But he didn't.
I mean, this is a guy.
Keep going.
He tore an ACL, about a year or so ago. He's still only, what is he, like 27?
Yeah, he's not old.
He's still young. He's not an old guy. But is he going to be the difference? I mean, this is a team. Oakland is a lost franchise. I mean, I feel like they're all over the place. Like, they don't really know what to do. I mean, I know Carr had a pretty good solid season last year at quarterback. Again, there's so many problems. Like, I know they signed Helu from what was it, the Redskins, I believe, for the running back, and it's just these aren't big names. These aren't guys that are really gonna shake up the franchise.
Well, because Carr. It's like I think that's the thing with the Raiders. They have these guys. They have talent. They have guys they put out there. They have athletes, but they never seem to come together as a team. Yeah. Every year they struggle.
It's been a long time
Every year
since the
they
Raiders have
struggle.
been good.
I mean, a Bills fan, I always say I have it hard as a Buffalo Bills fan. The Raiders fans are loyal. I'll give them that. Oakland, poor Oakland. And it looks like and then they talk about moving maybe?
Yeah.
Maybe they go to a new stadium. Who knows? I don't know. I mean, AJ, talk about, you think that they overpaid? Is $5 million too much?
Well, at Crabtree, he's had really, really good performances, but they haven't necessarily been consistent. In 2014, he only had 4 touchdowns, 698 yards. It's kind of been hit or miss for him. And so I think what the Raiders were going for maybe is to solidify their offense, and then they also tried to bulk up a little bit on the defense. But essentially, they've just picked apart kind of just a bunch of free agent signings, and who knows if it's going to come together.
Yeah, I think if we're looking at let's look at their picks and maybe see who's going to have the most impact. For me, if Crabtree can stay healthy, I think he would have the most impact for the Raiders as a wide receiver.
Because they need someone to really step up and be a weapon for them on that offense, and he could be that guy. If he can bounce back and stay healthy. Again, he's young. He's young. He's strong. He's only been what are we looking like 7 years now going, something like that in the NFL. So he could be that weapon. Hopefully, he stays healthy.
The NFL is a little ways away.
Yeah.
Still got some time, but we're always going to talk about it. The draft is coming up on the same weekend as the Floyd Mayweather-Pacquiao fight, which we're going to talk about a little bit later. It's big. It's big news coming. So if you had to pick, who's your favorites to win the Super Bowl this year?
You mean aside from the Bears?
Aside from the Bears, and aside from my Bills, which of course are the favorites.
Yeah.
Who was your second favorite?
I like what Dallas has been doing. I think they've been looking good. Indianapolis, I think, is only going to get better. The Patriots are still the Patriots. Seattle right now, adding Jimmy Graham to that offense, that just makes them that much more dangerous.
Yeah.
So, there are a number of teams that I think that have a legitimate shot. I think the one team to watch out for is Seattle, though, because they got a little chip on their shoulder, something to prove. They came this close. Probably should have won the Super Bowl. But now they got something to prove.
It's going to be a good NFL season. Aside from the sad news we just talked about in our first topic, it's going to be a good NFL season. We're going to go on to the third topic right now.
Lighthearted.
Talk about some light,
Fun.
This is a fun show. Talk about fun things here. Talk about crazy pitchers, and I don't know I don't know that technique, leaping off the ground when they're throwing the pitch, but it's legal. It's legal. We're specifically talking about Carter Capps.
Yeah.
Carter Kapp.
Yeah.
This crazy pitch. The guy throws. And you're supposed to put your weight forward, obviously, when you're throwing, as much as I know about pitching. I'm not a professional pitcher, but he it's almost like he's in air, like he's leaping forward.
I have never seen anything like this before.
Crazy.
I first saw this actually like a couple days ago, and I thought it was maybe I don't know, maybe tweaked or someone had tweaked the image. Like, there's no way he could be skipping like that in midair. But that's his real, that's his delivery. And it's legal. You know what I mean? I don't agree with it, though. I don't think. Here's the thing. You're supposed to be, what is it, what is it? You were 60 feet away, is it, from the pitcher's mound to home plate, I believe. So with that leap forward, you're just bringing it that much closer. You're making it, so that's, if anything, that's an advantage for him.
Right.
And I just don't think that should be legal. I know some people are still on the fence about that, like, well, is it legal? Because I know there was some, I believe it was a minor league game where oh, no, that's not a legal pitch, yada, yada. Your back foot should be, or at least your toes should be still technically on the mound as you're delivering the pitch. It works for him. I think it needs to be tweaked. I don't think that should be allowed.
JJ, what do you think? Is this exciting for the game? I think it looks kind of weird, but I think it's kind of cool at the same time. The guy's leaping forward. He's defying gravity. AJ, what do you think about this crazy pitching style?
You know what? I think it is exciting. It's new. It's different, but it's freaky. It's just weird. You assume he's throwing himself into some kind of gravitational pull. It's really distracting. I'm cool with the normal. It's all right, to not let this happen.
This has been a great baseball season so far. I'm actually watching some games.
Yeah, it's still so early.
I came home again last night from work, and the Dodgers again. Michael's favorite team is the Los Angeles Dodgers, if you weren't aware of that.
Let's calm down. Our favorite team is the Chicago Cubs.
Yeah. So Dodgers again in a close game with Seattle right here in Dodger Stadium here in Los Angeles. Bases loaded, bottom of the ninth. Another, good shot there. 2 runs scored. Won 6-5 last night. Dodgers are doing well.
That's the one thing I love about baseball. It's there's so many good teams out there. Really, it's anyone's game. That's what I love. We talk about that with in soccer. There's some leagues where they're very top heavy. You got a couple teams at the top, and all right, year in, year out. Spain, it's either Real or Barcelona. But in baseball, everyone likes to talk about the Yankees, but the Yankees haven't really been dominant for a while.
No one's going to talk about the Yankees. The only thing talking about the Yankees this year is when Alex Rodriguez steps up to the plate. It's he's not playing. Actually, he's doing okay.
The Yankees aren't even playing good.
But no one's really talking about him. Also, too, I thought last night Miguel Cabrera from the Tigers had a good game. It was funny. He he swatted the ball out of the catcher's hand because I think there was, I don't know if it was catch interference. Something happened. He just swatted. He was upset. Like, you can see the catcher going back and talking to, I think, his pitcher, one of the other players. He was all upset. Miguel Cabrera at the end got the best of him. 2-0 win there for the Tigers. They are 7-1 now. Only one loss. They are playing very well. Next topic, we're going to get into some Pacquiao. Oh, I'm sorry. No, we have to do the jersey sales thing. I'm sorry. We have to talk about jersey sales.
Talk about some NBA jerseys.
Oh, NBA jersey sales.
Let's do it.
We're out of order today, folks. My fault.
No, it's all right.
We talk about some jersey sales.
It's been a crazy morning.
Crazy morning. Sorry, that whole Hernandez thing. Whew,
Shook
that
us up.
was a shake up there. But we were going to hit all the topics today. We're going to talk about some jersey sales. LeBron James is leading the way in jersey sales. LBJ. Leading the way in jersey sales. And how does this reflect on the MVP race? You know, do sales, marketing? It's all about money. Everything is about money in these professional sports. Does the marketing of the players and all that influence the MVP race?
Absolutely not. I mean, let's be honest. When it comes to jersey sales, it's basically a popularity contest. That's all it is. Because, I mean, LeBron James is still one of the better players in the league. But, I mean, come on, really?
Yeah.
MVP this season is ridiculous. When you look at someone like Steph Curry, who I still think should get MVP. I love the fact that Rose is still in the top 5. Like, wow, that's really shocking considering, like, what's gone down the last few seasons. I'm surprised we don't see, like, Westbrook or someone like that. But, I mean, I don't know where Westbrook ranks. I'd have to imagine he's got to be top 10. But, Durant's not even playing this year, right, the rest of the season. He's not even there. So, yeah, that's the thing. It's fun, though, to kind of keep track and see who's selling a lot. But, yeah, it just has nothing to do on MVP.
Yeah, I think in my opinion, it's the players are just marketable. LeBron's everywhere.
Yeah.
He's got TV shows he's working on. He's in the camera. He's on huge billboards. Are you witnesses? If you live in Cleveland, you see him on billboards everywhere. I mean, his face is just everywhere. I think you don't see Harden's face everywhere. Harden's very noticeable with his huge beard that he has, and he's an awesome player. He's scoring big games, but I think it just depends how, prevalent you are. Rose, you see Rose in the media all the time, even though, Rose is injured.
Hashtag the return.
He's in the top 5
Part
right now.
3.
He's in the top 5 right now. You see his face everywhere. You see him in commercials. AJ, what do you think this is a product of? Has to do anything with the MVP race, or is it more just how marketable these guys are in terms of where you see them in the public?
I definitely think it has to do with how marketable they are and how much the public like them, but I think that does end up rolling over on the MVP race. And the interesting point is that Westbrook is not in the top 10, neither is Harden. We have Kyrie Irving, Tim Duncan, Carmelo Anthony, Dwayne Wade, and Blake Griffin as the last 5 of the top 10 jersey sales. So I kind of wonder, is Westbrook, Harden, are they really MVP candidates, or is it just Steph Curry?
Yeah, I still think it's Steph. Again, you mentioned Carmelo Anthony. This is a guy that's played, half of a season. And that first half wasn't even all that great.
Poor New York.
You know what I mean? Poor New York.
New York beat the Atlanta Hawks the other night. That's a win. That's something.
Congratulations.
I hope we get the lottery. I hope we get first pick. We need some help. We need to get Jahill over.
A lot of it.
We need some help.
But, that's the thing. You mentioned Carmelo Anthony. And this is a guy that hasn't been playing well, hardly played anything at all. So, obviously, he shouldn't be considered for an MVP. So, it's just a popularity contest. It's fun,
Before we go quick, there's always a lot of breaking news this morning. The Hernandez case, also Tyus Jones this morning, just very morning here, declared for the draft. Duke's point guard, MVP of the national championship
you guys think
game.
He's ready?
Do you think he's ready? Hashtag 3MW here at the stream.tv. Let us know what you think. That's the buzzer. We are all over the place today, just going up and down that list, just all out of order. Stephen Fox, our producer up in the booth, making it happen. He's probably like, David, what are you doing down there? You're struggling today. We got the prospects we're going to talk about Mayweather, Pacquiao. Yep. AJ, break us down. We had the big training session, the big open training that Mayweather did yesterday. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I can tell you nothing pleases me more than a real-life Rocky IV training montage. And I will go ahead and say that Mayweather, it did meet the standard, almost as good as that Ivan Drago action. He went out and his own training studio in Las Vegas, and he live streamed his training so everybody could see what they're going to get on May 2nd. And the fun part is that Manny Pacquiao will be doing that today and having an open training session in Hollywood, which we're super excited to see. What did you guys think about Mayweather's training yesterday?
Mayweather always puts on a show. The funny thing is, we were watching some of this morning. You can go on show. I think it's like show.com, Showtime's YouTube page. You can watch the 3-hour training segment. First hour and a half is just guys talking. Mayweather didn't even show. He might be in the room, in the building somewhere. It'd be nice to get to see him train until about an hour and a half into that video. So. But it's what he always does. He's doing the thing with his uncle, and
Again, this is probably one of the most hyped fights in a decade, maybe even more than
People
that.
are
You know what I
building
mean?
controversy.
Yeah.
People are in articles. If you read articles that we were reading to do our research for this topic, people are still saying like, oh, the fight is reportedly $89.99 for a standard definition. You want high definition? It's $100. It's like, no, it's been on pre-order on my Dish Network for a good 3 weeks for like $100. Like the price is set.
Yeah.
There's no controversy.
And that's the
Nothing's
thing.
changing.
All like media, and it's any fight really. You're trying to hype it. You're trying to make it a big deal. This huge spectacle. So naturally, you get these like media workouts and all like the the controversy and stuff.
Right.
It gets people talking. Suddenly, people are like, oh, $100 for this fight doesn't sound too bad.
That's a
Check
good
this
deal.
out. And I love
great
the
deal.
Rocky IV reference too. Like I'm hoping we see Pacquiao maybe up in like Runyon Canyon or like running up the hills and lifting up some tree or something like that, growing his beard out even thicker.
Right. He looks good, though. We're talking, too, about his trainer. We're going to switch into Pacquiao now. Talking about Freddie Roach. Pacquiao's training. It's going to be it won't be as much of a spectacle.
No.
Mayweather has his own gym in Vegas, if you don't know that. He has his own gym, driving up in his Bugattis and his Ferraris and all this stuff. I mean, he works hard. Mayweather works hard. That's why he's 47-0. Pacquiao's a little more understated, a little more humble, I guess. He's going to have probably a little more understated showing today. But his coach, Freddie Roach, who's
14 years.
14 years
14
coach,
years.
talking about a very interesting topic about, injuries and trauma and things like that. And talk a little about that, Michael.
Yeah, well, I know that he's talked to Pacquiao about the whole. Roach has Parkinson's disease, something that he said that he got from all the years of fighting, and it's just like basically telling Pacquiao, you need to stop at some point. When I tell you you're ready to stop, you got to stop, and if you want to keep going, I'm out, I'm leaving. But no, he still feels that Pacquiao is, still near like the peak of his career, still a fighter, still getting out there, looking good, so he's hungry. Guys have a really good relationship. Again, 14 years is a long time.
Yeah.
And they really work well together. It's almost like, in the article too that I was reading and stuff, they were talking about how he doesn't even have Pacquiao's number.
Yeah.
Like you just gotta trust this guy.
They trust him. They know they're going to show
A
up.
lot of trust.
That's all we had today, folks. Kind of running around all over the place today. It's okay. We got it done.
Good sports morning,
Good
though.
sports morning. A lot of good news. A
Some
lot
sad
of
stuff,
breaking
but
news.
yeah.
Some sad stuff. Let us know what you think as always. #3MW here at thestream.tv. This is our show for today. I'm David Griffin. As always, you can find me at GriffinDE on Twitter.
And you can also find me on Twitter at Mr. Michael Alexis and David and I right here on the stream.tv on the Arrow After Show.
AJ, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram, the AJ Lawrence.
Be sure to check us out tomorrow morning. Michael and I will be back on Thursday. Friday, we got our Clubhouse edition with Megan LaMontagne, AJ Lawrence, Michael, and myself. And we will see you tomorrow with some more 3-Minute Warning.